Visiting the religious places, Sunny wanted to know more about the history of Korea. Cloudy planned a historical tour for Sunny, starting from prehistoric times to modern times. The first place they visited was Amsadong Prehistoric Site. There is a museum and an outdoor exhibition as well. You can see the Neolithic times of Korea. This hut is restored over the excavated place. The foundation of the huts are mostly round and has a 50 to 100 centimeter deep pit underground. There is a hut you can enter too. People cooked fish and meat in a fire pit and stored acorns in comb-patterned earthenware. The clothes were made out of animal skin and they used grindstones to cook, stone spears to hunt. If you walk through this tunnel, Road of Times, you can experience a time travel to a Neolithic village. People are catching fish and collecting shells from the river, or hiding to hunt deer and hogs. In the center of the village, you can see people gathered around the fire pit cooking and making nets or earthenware. Inside the museum, you can see the wildlife, artifacts discovered from the sites, and experience making fire or using grindstones in the experience section for children too. After the Neolithic era, the Korean peninsula started using bronze tools. Items made of bronze meant social power and led to the birth of kingdoms. The very first kingdom in the Korean peninsula was Gojoseon. According to the legends, it was ruled by Dangun, who was born between God and a bear who turned into a woman. Then, people started using ironware for weapons and farming tools, established centralized states in different parts of the peninsula. Having numerous battles, the three strongest nations were left. Several centuries passed fighting for the Han River territory, but with the help from Tang, Silla unified the states for the first time in 676. Then, the left powers from earlier Goguryeo succeeded in establishing their own nation, Goryeo, destroying the united Silla. The foreign merchants that came to the Korean peninsula this era made the name Korea that is used today. By the 13th century, Goryeo was colonized by Yuan, which soon provoked conflicts between the people in high status. Iseongge, the first king of Joseon, then took advantage of it and established Joseon. In Jonglo-gu, you can still see the palaces that the royal family of Joseon and the servants stayed. If you wear Hanbok, Korean traditional clothes, it is free for you to enter any palaces. The palace that Sunny and Cloudy visited was Changdeok-gung. Throughout the history, many palaces were damaged by fire or wars. While Gyeongbokgung, the biggest palace, was burnt down, from 1610 to 1868, Changdeok-gung was used as the main palace for governmental affairs for nearly 300 years. The palace has numerous buildings inside the walls, such as Daejojeon, where the royal family lived, Injeongjeon, where foreign ambassadors visited, or Sanjeongjeon, where political affairs were discussed. Huwon is also famous for its huge garden that was used for banquets, studies, or simply a stroll. It is appreciated for its harmonious design with nature. Near Gwanghwamun, the front door of Gyeongbokgung, you can see a statue of King Sejong the Great. King Sejong was the fourth king of Joseon, famous for his numerous achievements in science, politics, and mostly the creation of Hangul. On the back of the statue, you can find an entrance to Sejong's story, a museum about his achievements. Close to the palaces, you can find a village full of Korean traditional houses, Hanok. Bukchon is a residential area of Yangban since Joseon Dynasty. Yangban were the ruling class who had social privilege. Until the 1920s, there were no big changes in the area, but with the expansion of administrative districts in Seoul by the 1930s, housing management companies bought land in Bukchon and collectively built small to medium-sized houses. These houses used new materials such as glass, but still maintained the traditional style of Hanok, recreating the image of city homes in Seoul. There are real people living in the houses, so once you visit here, make sure not to make loud noises or take photos in forbidden places.